7 good rounds in the bank, and over to you guys for questions.
He was pretty tough, wasn't he? He took his licks, but you always seemed really composed.
Yeah, you know, it was weird. I thought you could go in there and bomb him out in 2 rounds. And the 2 fights I could say I've learned a lot in was one Dylan, and then that one, because like 6 rounds in, 7 rounds in, I started thinking, there's guys that are going to have to stand up to the power. 9 rounds in, 10 rounds in, so when you're loading up, trying to knock them out, it does take a lot of energy. So yeah, you've got to control the fight. And I just learned that, just break them down bit by bit, rather than trying to knock them out with single punches. And I just took my time, and I finally found the shots that would take him out.
Is that why you stood off him a bit when he first wobbled?
Yeah, because what he was going to do, sometimes if I go rushing in, it's easy to get caught with a big hook or something, and it changes the course of the fight. So I didn't want that to happen, so I just was a bit patient.
But the second or third round, you caught him with a big right uppercut, and it looked, and he staggered all the way back to the corner.
I thought, yes. And then he was still in there. And that's what I mean, and I started realising that sometimes, no matter what shots you're throwing and how flushed they are, some people are here to stay. Even if they're not there to win, they want to put up a good fight and show themselves out to the public that they're serious contenders. And I think he was one of those fighters. So when I hit him with the uppercut, I thought, all right, he's going to go here, but he stayed in for a couple more rounds, so credit to him.
So is it fair for us to call this, or you to call it, a learning fight for you?
Yeah, definitely. Just put your punches in bunches and just break them down little by little. But the main thing is don't get hit on the return. When you're being patient, you don't want to be taking shots while you're trying to break them down. So it was a bit, it's a good mind game. It plays mind tricks because you're breaking them down, being patient. But at that patience, you're giving them an opportunity to break you down as well. So you've got to be on the ball all the time.
You couldn't miss him with the jab. Do you think that was the one that softened him up?
Yeah, and then side throwing it to the body a bit. And then I think, because they tuck up like that, so the right hand doesn't really go through around the side. So when I started bringing it through the middle, I think the jab to the stomach, and the uppercut was starting to slam down a bit.
Did you ever doubt that you might not get him out of there at all, and you might have to go the distance?
I was gonna, yeah. You sometimes think, all right, I'm gonna take it the distance. It's not always I'm gonna go in there and knock him out. It is boxing, and then, but with that, with the patience, I could see he was getting broken down. His eyes started to swell up. His nose was going. So I could see that sooner or later it would go, but I thought if it goes 12 rounds, it would be a good 9-leg fight for me.
There wasn't much of a celebration when you got the final stop and you just kind of wandered into the middle of the ring. What were you thinking? What was the feeling?
Yeah. Huh? Thank God for that. I was just like, you know, it's been hard. I only had 2 weeks off, so it's been like, you train for like 3 months and just lockdown. Like you're on lockdown for 3 months. Then I had 2 weeks off, which was work. It wasn't even like I was chilling out with the family and straight back in camp. So to get Dominic out of there was like a relief that I can finally have a bit of rest. And then when we planning to go again, do you think?
Well, November, but I mean, he won't say because, but his camp for this was, you know, he had a virus for a couple of weeks, and he was, you know, there were times where we were considering taking the fight or not. And after the Martin fight, you know, because of the commercial deals, and Freddie does a great job for him. You know, he's just been non-stop. Broadcasters, sponsors, and the one worry going into his fight was burning. I think I might have said it to a couple of you. And he needs a long rest. He needs to go and be just go and sit on the beach with his mates and mess around.
You're going to go and spar Joe Joyce later?
No, I'm sparring with him. I've made up my mind. I'm not going to go sparring.
But you're obviously going to spend a little bit of August in Rio anyway, with the Olympics, commentating, kind of cheerleading the team.
Yeah, because I've got a good relationship with the boys. I know them. I've known them for years, and so it'll be good to speak about it firsthand. So what they're like behind closed doors, what they're like in the gym. So it'll be good. So I'll be doing some commentary work on them at the Olympics.
And will it be a holiday before that then?
Main thing I think, I really want to catch up with my family, just spend some nights at home, because I only spend, you know, Saturday and Sunday at home, and that's really get my washing done and pack it again to go again. That's what it's been. So I want to just catch up with my family first before I think about holiday.
In the ring, you almost seemed happy. So you only time you really smiled was when he hit you. Is that because you were glad he was giving you a test, or did you sort of enjoy a bit of a?
I knew I was going to get him out there sooner or later. I knew it, so I just couldn't wait for that moment. I like, it's coming. But as I said, in the meantime, when I'm being patient, he weren't too good coming forward or going back, but what he was doing, he had these big swings, and then with 10-ounce gloves, it takes one shot, so I had to be careful. So I was just waiting. That smile was like, I know it's going to come, and I can't wait.
Just before you finished him off, he told you 2 punches.
Yeah, it really worked well.
That's it, snap you into action.
Sometimes that's what it takes, and I'm glad it's not too detrimental, but sometimes it does take a punch to make you realise that you're in a fight, you can be taken out. And that's how quick it can change, that's what I mean. And that's why I took my time when I hurt him, because and be doing well, next minute I rush in, as you said, it hits me with 2 shots and it changes the course of the fight. So, and it would be a massive upset, so I just got to be very cautious.
What was the harder fight, White, Dillian, or?
White. Yeah, definitely White. Yeah, it was a different kind of fight, wasn't it, as well?
Well, he was trying to get up in your face at the end of rounds.
Yeah, I know.
It was, wasn't it?
It's funny, like, I just know that's all acting. I was like, get back to your corner. Slapped him and sent him back to his corner.
He shoved Howard Foster out of the way as well.
Did I?
Yeah, well, at the second round, when he was hurt, and Howard jumped in and went,
oh,
he
yeah.
done an Ian John Lewis, didn't he?
Yeah,
and then you went to him, get out of the way.
Well, he was about to stop it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, you made a mistake.
Well, I think if they're going to stop it, but they should let me finish him off.
Our conversations with Peter Fury were to look at the Fury fight for November, December of this year, or spring, summer of next year. But you never know with Tyson Fury how long someone like that's going to be in the game. Not because of what we've seen in the papers, just because he's a little bit out there, isn't he? And how long he'll keep winning. So, you know, we've spoken about that fight, and it was like, maybe we'll take it in the winter, but that's kind of made up our decision for us, not the story, but the injury, you know, post today. Yeah. So, I think, you know, we'll see what happens with the inquiry, but, you know, we're doing our thing, and we want to get all the belts. If that means those belts become vacant, I see Deontay Wilder calling out AJ's name tonight, because everybody's calling his name out. Oscar De La Hoya just tweeted, Luis Ortiz is the best heavyweight in the world, let us fight you now. There's not a heavyweight in the world that doesn't want to fight Anthony Joshua, because they all tune in, and you know, Charles Martin's obviously told them there's a few quid on the table. So, you know, but ultimately we're going to do the right fight. We like the Joseph Parker fight. Yeah. You know, that's the mandatory. We'll have to deal with that at some point. Yeah. Now, whether that's in November, December, or whether that's in March or April, it's a good fight, good undefeated, hungry fighter. You know, and
in the crowd.
Yeah, Takat, yeah, you know, give him away.
Could they compete with you to put that on his side of the world?
It's a 75-25 person. They'd have to pay double-digit millions. He might go for that. He likes New Zealand anyway. That'll go down well. I'm fighting Parker, but it's in New Zealand.
I haven't heard too much about it, but it's been a hot subject when we've been speaking for the last couple of weeks. And it's a shame because he's worked hard to get where he is. And I just hope that he can overcome it and get back to winning ways, because it's a fight that everyone wanted to see and something I was serious about. So I just hope that it's nothing too serious. I don't know if it's been 100% proven, or I don't know the story, but I just hope that it's not too serious and me and him can continue on our collision course sometime in the near future.
Does this mean someone like Deontay Wilder is the other world champion?
Yeah. The good thing I said, like, I'm in a good position, like Wilder's, Fury's, Hayes, any one of them. Do you know what I mean? We've got a good list to pick out of, and they all want me. So
that's a fight we'd like to build towards the dual pay-per-view on Showtime and Sky here. So we need probably a couple more fights, maybe even a fight in America in early 2017.
When is he fighting Wilder?
He's fighting Areola in July, is it? July 16th.
Yeah, so it'd be good to watch that as well. Yeah, we get some. So yeah.
We might go to that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But I think it would be class to fight in there.
Was it in Alabama? Fuck that.
You gotta keep it real.
It was in Vegas.
You go to Vegas and watch it there.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah. In the bars. You go to watch the Deontay Wilder fight in the casino.
So basically, Eddie, looking at it, is Parker the most likely?
Yeah, we either fight in early November, which is the last time we'll get a chance to have a voluntary, or we can fight in December and ask for an exception. If we do that, and it's granted, which it probably will do, we would have to fight Parker next. So basically the Parker fight's going to happen either in November, December or March, April. But there's so many, you know, we're looking at the Fury fight, Klitschko might be given the belt back. I mean, I don't know, you know, I mean, that's a fight we'd love as well. We want to build towards the Wilder fight. But I think tonight was, I always said when we accepted the Martin fight, AJ was going to have to learn on the job a little bit. Yeah. And that's what tonight was perfect for. You know, it was a...
Was it almost tougher than expected,
yeah, it was.
So if it's on the table, you take Klitschko next?
I mean, a lot of things have to be right with that fight, but I'm always reluctant to make a fight of that magnitude in November, December. You know, but again, these guys aren't going to be around forever. So, it's, you know, speak to the trainers and see. But the main thing now is I'm so excited for him to have a rest. Honestly, I can't tell you how excited I am. So, go on, you call them all. No, sure. He's sitting down with his bread. He practices at home, but he kids go, I'm coming for you. The auntie.
Then you ask me about, yeah, they're great fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it'd be tough. It's not easy in there, but you've got to fight the best and learn, right? So it's going to come sooner or later. No problem. No problem with me.
Got any feedback from Showtime?
Yeah, Stephen Espinosa emailed me before the fight and just said the interest has been huge, you know, it's really building nicely. It's unusual for them to do a deal like that with a British fighter. And we're really pleased, but it's not just, we've got to do deals like that in every market, and we're seeing now, you know, whether it's France, whether it's Japan, you know, whether it's Germany, Australia, the broadcasters are paying more money and showing more interest. So we've had approaches from Africa, from United Arab Emirates, from China, to bring in there and have fights, and that's something I'd like to do. You know, we did it around the UK, but I'd like him to fight potentially in China, certainly in America, you know, Dubai. And it's a long journey. He's 26 years old. Do you know what I mean? So when we talk about Klitschko and Wilder, you've got one side, you've got the fan pressure, and then you've got the other side, he's doing the right thing. And you know, it's hard to sit there as a promoter and say, we're going to take our time, we're going to take the right fights, but he's 26, so we don't want to be balls deep in those fights at 26. You know what I mean? So, everyone says that in my way.
Yeah, definitely. It's done before, and it's made massive news in its history, so I think it'll be massive. I think that would be massive. I wouldn't turn the opportunity down. In Nigeria. Yeah. Or Ghana. Either one's good for me. But anyway. There's no way I wouldn't fight. To me, it's just another fight, but it would be class. I think the history of it, it would work. And if the big man make it work, then why not?
It's groundbreaking. I think a lot of what we're doing at the moment, away from boxing as well, is it's an honour to be associated with, because we've got brands knocking at the door, Freddie's door, that have never even looked at boxing. You know, Lucozade, Beats, Under Armour. You know,
it's good for everyone, isn't it? I think.
It's great, especially you.
I can't win.
No, it is, because I think, talking about Beats, you know, the guy here tonight, the president, he was like, what an event. Wow, I can't believe it, the atmosphere. I don't think he's ever been to a boxing, or if he has, he's been to America, where you could hear a pin drop. So you never know, Beats might turn around and say, you know, we want 5 or 6 other fighters. You know, Lucozade might say, we're going to start a campaign in boxing.
It's been a while since the heavyweights had sponsorship, isn't it?
No, it's been a while since any fighter has had sponsorship outside of the gaming.
Long time. I mean, Mayweather.
No, but even Mayweather just started, you know, he sold himself to Hoodlow for the Pacquiao fight. It was like the first time he's done it.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, he's set up, you know, he likes to be forward thinking, breaking barriers. He set out his own management company for his commercial run by Freddie, and, you know, moved away from the agency side, doing it all himself.
Anthony, did you get a sense it was bigger this week? It felt, the whole thing,
I think it hit me
did you
when
get
I
a
got to
sense
the
from
weigh-in.
inside?
When I got to the weigh-in, that's when I was like, wow, yeah, that was different. I just can't afford to mess up. Boxing's a real brutal sport. You can be up there and then one mistake, you're on the downslide. So I just can't afford to mess up. But it's definitely growing. And as I said, I'd never put it down to me. You've got great fighters on the undercard, good promoters, you guys, Freddie, my family and friends that are doing like things behind the scenes. Everyone is driving, you know, this hype train forward. So it's everyone putting in their input. So I never put it just down to me, but I definitely think that as a whole, the brand of boxing, it's coming back to the golden times, the golden era. And I think that's why people want them Wilder fights, Fury fights, because that's the ones that last in people's memories for years to come. You know, Dominic Breazeale, I think that was fun. Now they want to know what's next. When are we going to get that exciting fight? So they're waiting for that memory-catching fight. So I think we're back. We just got to capture their imagination for these massive fights.
Did it bring out a different side of you having that to defend?
No. That's why none of the boys come in like flash it in the air and all that stuff. We're not really like that. With or without the belt, we fight the same way. It's a pleasure. This is the rewards of it, but you know, I won't let these things define me because I've got a lot more to give. You know, and if it did define me, then I wouldn't fight with the same hunger. So, yeah.
Eddie, what about the fight you do now?
Again, you know, 60 days is in hands, but very, very impressive and solid.
Better than White?
Very similar. But again, I can't tell you exactly, but you'll probably find me tomorrow. But very, very, very solid. And you know, I think everyone had a good night. I thought the Grove Murray fight was a cracking fight.
Yeah.
You won. Their main fight was good, and you know, the response has been good.
Yeah.
Listen, guys. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Thank you so much for staying. I really appreciate it. And see you next week.
Thank you, man.